worry, I'm on it for you. Your humble correspondent. Rule number 1, Craig.
Yeah, watch the football. It's right there. You don't have to have anybody signaling into you. Eyes on the football. Nice set by Jack Anderson there. Good job. Good base. Got his hands on him. Sank his hips. Didn't allow number 96, Akil Byers, to go anywhere. It's all in there. Getting set, staying low, using your hands. Outstanding in-state pickup for Texas Tech. He'll be an early enrollee, Jerry.
Yeah, in a day and age where guys decommit at a high rate, Jack Anderson committed to Texas Tech early, has family connections there, and he is stuck with the Red Raiders.
There's the number 99. 96, 99. They can kind of get confusing, but you should never confuse Marvin Wilson for anyone else. 6'4", pushing 330, and that might be a little light. And there he is, number 1 defensive tackle, taking on Duke commit Will Taylor. And Wilson, I think, won that one.
And Marvin Wilson, one of the more interesting recruiting battles. He will be a national signing day on ESPN. Decision with us. Has already visited Florida State. Has LSU January 13th. Already been to Ohio State. Really, LSU and Florida State are the top 2 right now.
One-on-ones, offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. Always, everybody wants to get to the quarterback. That's what those defenders are trying to do. The offensive lineman trying to stop that. Tyrese Robinson, Oklahoma verbal commit, number 62. Good rep right there.
Sooners have returned recruiting in the Dallas area with a vengeance. 6 4-star commitments for the Sooners from the state of Texas right now in the 2017 class.
That's Greg Rogers, number 57, UCLA commit, number 5 defensive tackle out of Las Vegas, again committed to the Bruins. If you follow some of these commit videos that are online, he had a remake of the scene from Goodfellas on there, walking through a restaurant, walking through the kitchen as well, and he's going to be walking into Westwood pretty soon.
Levon Chason trying to go wide, working against Isaiah Wilson. I think Tommy may be standing in his shade. He's a big man, 6'7", 330.
That's a big shadow, boys.
Pops, you said he was 330. That guy, he may be 370. He is huge.
It was a good job there, Tom, initially. Once he got his hands on, got a little bit tall, so the defender was still able to move him back. He's got to sink those hips, use that lower body power to anchor once he got those big mitts on him.
Keep in mind, guys, too, it's so difficult, even when it's padded, for an offensive lineman to be in a situation where the defender has no run support responsibility and a two-way go. So you're on an island, and it's all you can do to, like you said, sit down, anchor down, and make sure this is a technique drill for the offensive line. You know there's a two-way go for the defense. They're more athletic. They're going to have that first step explosiveness. So the technique is what comes into play here with these guys.
And this is Miami versus USC. That is DJ Johnson, number 3 defensive end, number 1. They're going up against Elijah Vera Tucker, USC commit.
Also Northern California versus Northern California. DJ Johnson going to leave the Sacramento area and go play at the University of Miami. Huge win for the Hurricanes on the trail.
CJ Thorpe, number 73, who I spoke about a little bit earlier. And didn't keep those feet moving. Nice set initially. Kind of got him stationary there, and then the defensive tackle was able to knock him off balance.
Akil Byers, the Alabama commit, able to get the best of CJ Thorpe. Again, the Penn State commit.
That looked like a scripted dance.
There you go, watch him working the hands.
That's the best thing about this. You get a chance of redemption. You run it again, you get a chance to redeem yourself.
No time to pout. Jump right back in there. CJ Thorpe going to take a visit, committed to Penn State, going to take an official visit to UCLA. Why does that matter? His father played for Tom Bradley, under Tom Bradley. So UCLA has a legitimate chance at a long-time Penn State.
Greg Rogers came to play on that rep.
And here's the thing, and Tom's down. Big Red, Will Taylor, Duke commit. Excellent center, but he's dipping his head. He's lunging. As soon as he snaps the ball, that head is going down. He's going out towards the defensive lineman, and they're just quick swimming him. Oh, and Greg Rogers, he had a plan in mind, but a little bit too early there.
So far, the offense has gotten about 5 first downs.
better. See the little. He got pushed back, but he got his hands on him. He snapped and took a step back. didn't try to lunge and attack the defensive lineman. The 2 times he did that against Greg Rogers a rep ago and against Marvin Wilson earlier, they won with the quick swims. Better set there. You see 280. That's big, but that's small here. You got to get in that Blue Devils weight program, put on some more weight. But the head coach at Grayson calls him the best offensive lineman he's ever coached. Tyrese Robinson, number 62, Oklahoma verbal commit, number 7 guard in the nation. He set, he had the patience. You see Mike Golick there talking to him, probably say, hey, stay patient. You went out and attacked him. He got you off balance and worked past. Working against number 99, Marvin Wilson, number 1 defensive tackle in the nation.
And the towel acting as the quarterback.
Yes. Not as mobile. It would be listed as a pocket passer. Pocket passer towel, not a dual threat.
Not a dual threat, yes. And that DT not standing for dual threat. That is a defensive tackle. Again, Marvin Wilson, who to us, Recruiting Nation, released his top 5 this week. You saw it on a Facebook video that we posted this week. And again, that's number 10, Luigi Villan. He's a Michigan commit, early enrollee.
Did Michigan have a very good month of December on the recruiting trail?
Talk about a surging program in recruiting.
7 ESPN 300 commitments in December alone.
Since December 14th.
Right. That's a lot. That's a pretty good Christmas present.
You see that right there, though, guys? I mean, that's what's going to have to change for Villan. And if he can't win with speed and quickness because he's undersized, he's going to have a counter to his game, because that time Donaldson got his mitts on him. And it wasn't all about first step quickness. If you look at Villan, number 10 there in the black jersey, great looking player on the hoof, but also could be one of those guys that plays as a hybrid outside linebacker, defensive end for Michigan. Not so much a Taco Charlton like they've had with the big physical strong side end stuff, more of a weak side end that could possibly be a stand-up linebacker too.
Yeah, when it was Villan versus Donaldson, that was 238 versus 345. You give up 100 pounds to someone.
345 is being kind.
You're going to have to work for it.
Navon Donaldson, huge hold, not a win. They had already had him committed. Huge hold for Miami because Florida and Florida State really made a run at Donaldson.
Yeah, you see Alex Leatherwood, number 7. He's the number 3 offensive tackle. One of our top 11 players. He's one of our 11 5-stars, we should say. Number 9 overall.
We've been midterm enrollee at Alabama. I think half their class is reporting to Tuscaloosa in 2 weeks.
CJ Thorpe working a nice little finish there as well, working against Akil Byers. The hands, good set. He's quick out of his stance for a big man. You watch him on film too. He's nimble. He can pull. He can work the second level. You see in those feet and those hands.
Tell you one thing, Craig, he's a nasty cuss. Every time the rep is done, he's lining up. He wants more.
And you want that competitiveness there. You see the excitement, doing a good job with the hands. A big successful recruiting, Jerry, starts in state.
No
For
doubt.
Penn State, this is a big win within their borders out of Pitt Central.
His father, I believe, played at Penn State.
And knows Tom Bradley, obviously, because Tom Bradley coached on the Penn State staff, and that's why Thorpe is going to make an official visit out to UCLA just to check.
There, Tom, Will Taylor, do commit, better job. He snapped the football, took a step, hands inside, no head dipping down, no lunging.
He just needs to gain weight too, Craig. I mean, this is more about strength and weight and getting into college weight program and getting more physical, especially with the lower body, so that, as you said, he can be a knee bender, not a waist bender, and actually have some weight and anchor at the point of attack.
And on that rep there, he tried to get it was a big windup there. You got to snap, you got to get your hands inside right away. Jack Anderson, a Texas Tech verbal commit, number 53, as we're watching O-line, D-line one-on-ones, focusing on pass protection for the offensive lineman and getting after the quarterback for the D lineman.
Jack Anderson saying his favorite human being in the world is Conor McGregor.
I'm sure Connor
Was
would
I
like
second?
that.
Loves his style. Yes, Jerry, you were a distant second.
Yeah.
It's like Alabama and the rest of the SEC. You were tied for second.
Guys, listening to the coach and from both sides of the football here, but you're going to hear an awful lot about keeping your hands inside, particularly with an offensive lineman. If you get your hands outside, you're done because you've exposed your chest and it's over.
You mean like right there, Tom?
Yep, just there. Yep, just like right there.
And Greg Rogers, remember, Tom, when we first put on his tape getting ready for the initial 300? It was almost like he had the offensive huddle bugged. He's got an outstanding first step. He can get off the football. Eddie Vander does leaving UCLA. That is a big pickup. Him and Boss Tagaloa can give them two young, explosive defensive linemen along that front at UCLA.
We have Isaiah Wilson against Martavis Bryant.
Again, another one of these speed rushers. When he doesn't, if he can't win with pure speed, and a guy like Isaiah Wilson gets their hands on him, it's tough to win that matchup one-on-one.
325 against 230, and that's listed.
Out of Brooklyn Poly Prep, when he goes into Manhattan, he's officially listed as a skyscraper.
And we talked about Michigan, 7 ESPN 300 commitments in December. Wilson's the only one they missed on. He picked Georgia.
And he picked a fight here, and he won it.
It a good punch, and as a defender, there really was no plan there by number 15, Martavis Bryant. Once he got initially hit, there was no counter there, and when big Isaiah Wilson, number 74, the Georgia verbal, he gets his hands on you, there's a lot of power coming down. And Jerry and Tom, he's an upside guy too. We saw him early at Wildcat. He plays on the defensive line. He plays both sides of the ball, very active. He's got to continue to develop those little things. He could be a guy who can come in on Georgia where they have a need on the offensive line and potentially even become a starter. But his best football is still very much ahead of Isaiah Wilson.
He said, he's number 2 overall, number 2 offensive tackle behind Trey Smith. He and Trey Smith, good friends. He wants to be number 1, but hey, number 2, he says he's not subscribing to the Talladega Nights theory. If you're not first, you're last. He's pretty pleased with where he's ranked right now, but certainly some motivation here this week to prove he is the best, and he is with one of our best. Tom Lugerbill.
Thank you, Matt. Here with Isaiah Wilson. Isaiah, on the right side, as you're playing tackle today, you're seeing a lot of speed rush. Probably something you don't see a ton of against normal high school competition. What's been your counter to try and handle that?
My counter is they come out a little bit too fast because they think I'm so slow. So I meet them when they get parallel. If I can hit them on their shoulder, I'm gonna shove them outside. And if not, I'm swiping them by. He's gonna be on his face.
What type of pass rusher in the past has given you maybe the biggest challenge or the most trouble?
I would definitely say like super fast, like the guys that are really linebackers, those kinds of guys. But I'm getting way better with it. Footwork solves everything.
Committed to Georgia. Obviously, it's a need position for the Georgia Bulldogs. So how would you project what your expectation is as you show up on campus in Athens?
I'm going to show up ready to work, compete for the starting job. Hopefully, whoever commits with me, going to go there, ball out, put Georgia back on top.
All right, man. Hey, go get back at it and have fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks, Isaiah, for the time there. Nice to get these guys a little out of breath, but still verbose enough. Give us some good thoughts. He's from Brooklyn, and again, not a real hotbed of big-time college football. And he said, look, with all the letters and stuff I was getting, I couldn't relate to anyone in my area. Again, he's headed to Georgia, and he's got some family down there as well, so it's not as far away from home as you might think.
I'll never forget when he came to our Future 50 event last year. We knew he was big watching him on tape, but when you see him in person, how broad his shoulders are, just how big of a human being, amazing.
He's very athletic for his size, deceptively so. Moves very well. Outstanding job with the hands. Number 62, Tyrese Robinson. We've seen some give and take, but Tom talked about a little bit earlier, getting those hands inside. As soon as the football was snapped, he was set. He got him inside, locked in. You want to get him on those breastplates of the shoulder pads. Lock on right there. Keep those hands inside.
Oklahoma did a good job winning the battle for Tyrese Robinson early. Texas made a strong run.
Tom Herman recently tried to get him to visit.
Tom Herman still trying with Tyrese Robinson, but it looks like he's going to stick with the Sooners.
Navon Donaldson again, about 350 pounds.
What you got to do is you got to get Big Navon moving out and try to come back inside. If you're just going to try to run around him, you need an Uber or a cab or something. He's wide. And there was really no plan there by the defender. Just came out wide, and he just kept pushing. There you go. Nice job by the big man of staying patient, countering, and washing him down. The defensive end was thinking what I was thinking. I'm going to try to push him out and get him in. He didn't overset, stayed balanced, and just washed him inside. I really think that at the next level, his fit's going to be at guard. And the key's going to be for him, and I sympathize with him because I struggle too. It's watching the weight. He's not being serious, though. He's a big man. He's got to slim down a little bit maximize the mass that he carries on that frame because he is very nimble for his size.
Turning into a therapy session.
Look at him on the calculator.
Alex Leatherwood now. Alex Leatherwood there, and you see him throw him down. We did some interviews a couple of days ago and talked to Alex Leatherwood, and he said tomorrow, which was yesterday, tomorrow is when the throwing will commence. It was one of the best sound bites we had of Leatherwood throwing down the opposition there, and Leatherwood getting into it.
I'll tell you what, Penn State fans, you know, be excited.